Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. And earlier, I told you guys that we're talking about the excellent lifestyle, and we're asking, are you living your best life, your very, very best life? I know that you people on this show, you like Basbo's topic, you know, this controversial topic. But today is a Monday evening motivation. It's still Basbos, and I'm sure you're still going to calling. But today we're actually more of introspecting. We're looking inside out. Yes, we're looking inside out. We're trying to ask ourselves, are we really living our best life? Like, what is living our best life in its essence? You know, what is the excellent lifestyle, and how can we live our best life? I'm sure nobody wants to die one day and now look and just say, oh, I could have done this. You know, usually when you go to this people who have done their birthdays, them older people like 60 and 70, and they're talking, oh, what did you wish did you had done? One of the things I've heard most times of people saying, they'll say, I wish I'd, just done this. I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd actually lived and not be afraid of anything. I wish I'd gone the extra mile to do this and do that. And I'm thinking, does that mean that you really didn't live your best life at that time? Now that you're wishing that you could have lived? Well, I wouldn't know. Thankfully, we have a special guest with me in the studio who is the excellent life coach, and she's going to be helping us dive deeper on the topic of the day. And before I introduce her properly, if you have thoughts and questions and opinions, please do also calling on 0705 993 6937 or 0705-993-7937. That looks like I have a call. Let's quickly check that. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good to have you on the show.
Good evening.
Olawale, good evening. Thanks for having you. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good evening. Runaway soldier.
Runaway civilian.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. You too.
Yeah. We are talking. The belief of every human being in life is that, let's see, if you see like 100 people, you see 80% that are not living their excellent life. Am I communicating?
Yes.
When we are small, we normally feel nonsense. When we say we are the leaders of tomorrow.
Yes.
The sound sinks in some people. People are still dragging it to become what they're supposed to be in life. So you get some strategy, you get some problems, the economic situation where they met yourself, where you met yourself sometimes, it can affect you not to be living excellent.
Your best. Are you living your best life, Olawale?
I can't tell you, I just say the only thing I know that the only best life in life that you can live is to get good health. That's what I know.
Good health. Okay.
When you get good health, because you normally think something addict, they say when there is life,
yes, hope.
There is reward, there is people or something like that.
Yes.
And we keep on. And if we see many religions as well, they normally set hope for us.
Okay.
And we still have hope for improvement.
Interesting.
That's what I just do.
So in other words, you are living your best life since you have life.
That's still alive. I have life. I can see this. I'm still living my excellent life.
You are living your excellent life.
Because the only thing something that anything good can happen tomorrow to me, excellent.
That's a nice way to look at it. Interesting. Thank you so much for calling, Olawale. I appreciate it. Olawale always calling and giving his 2 cents. I like to say 50 cents on the show. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters, and so far we've been talking about the excellent lifestyle, and we're asking you, are you living your best life? Do you agree with Olawale? Olawale says if you have life, you have hope. So if you have life, that means you are living your best life. Well, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if our excellent life coach would actually agree with that. This my guest for today is a lawyer, a banker, a certified executive coach, a realtor, a podcaster, an author. She has the intense desire to be a beacon of hope globally, and she's attended the Gemstone Leadership Institute of Executive Coaching certificate program, where she became a certified executive coach. And of course, in 2022, she founded the BMO Advisory Services, a coaching and leadership development outfit with a particular focus on women empowerment. She is committed to encouraging women and challenging them to live up to their God-given potential. And she's also a firm believer of of excellence that you can actually live your excellent life, that excellent life. And she loves excellence so much that she has a podcast, she has a book on excellence, she has a podcast on it. Excellent. Imagine just having a podcast when the only thing you talk about is excellence. That is absolutely beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me in the studio Bola Mattel Oko. Hi.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I like to call you the energy queen.
Woo, we got to bubble some of this energy. Yes.
So good to have you in the studio. Thank you
good
so
to
much
be
for
here.
coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have the excellent life coach.
Yes,
I feel like I'm getting that vibe, that excellent
the
vibe.
Excellent vibe.
Yes,
I'm transmitting it.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sure my listeners and viewers feel that from wherever they are.
I hope so.
So first of all, before I drop my topic, I want you to react to what Olawale said about having life and having hope and just being excellent.
So
at that.
life is a gift. Life is a gift from God. And because we have life as a gift, it is our responsibility to live our best life. It's not just to exist. Because I feel like what he's saying is existing. When you say when there's life, there's hope, that means I'm just here to exist until I expire. But God, who has given you life, also has given you a responsibility to live your very best life. And when people ask me, what is living your best life? I say living your best life is living the very best life you were created to live, and maximizing your potential, your God-given potential. Because there are a lot of people who live and die, and they do not even scratch their potential.
Wow.
Yes.
But I hear you loud and clear. I love the definition. living your
The
best,
very
the
best
best that
life.
you can be. But it feels like even as humans, at every time when you get to that best, it feels like there's another best.
Yes.
And then it's another best.
So
is it actually possible to actually live your best life?
as long as you are doing what you're created to do, there are layers of excellence that you can accomplish. So for instance, I say that today's mediocrity is today's excellence is tomorrow's mediocrity.
Okay.
And so at some level, what you're doing is excellent. Like 10 years ago, if I had a flip phone, that was an excellent phone. But as technology has advanced, having a flip phone is not excellent. So at every part of at every point in your life, you are excelling to the best of your knowledge and your ability. But what helps you to excel in every phase of your life is getting the necessary skills, acquiring the necessary skills for every next step of your life.
Interesting. I will get to these skills very, very soon. But I'm so curious as to what the excellent lifestyle or living your best life looks like. Because some people, if you look at their careers, they're living excellently. Like they're getting all the accolades. And then you come down to their relationships and they suck at the relationships.
Yeah.
Or you come to friendship, they do not have friends. Or you come to something else, they're failing at it. What does the excellent life look like? Is it an all-round excellence, or can I be excellent in some particular areas and that makes me an excellent?
So the excellent life is really about maximizing, whether it's your career, your marriage, it's putting in your very best effort. And I find that the reason why people at times do not excel in some of the things they do is that the desire to excel is not there. So you find that there are people that are so passionate about their careers. So they put all of their energy, their drive into it. But somehow they cannot get themselves to put the same energy and drive, say maybe into their marriage or to other areas of their lives. But I tell you, if you have passion, you have desire in anything that you do, you will excel. That's just the truth of it. I am a testimony to that. And living that excellent life or living your best life means constantly challenging yourself. Constantly challenging yourself to live by a particular standard, to have a particular attitude by which you go about your life, and say to yourself on every single day, I will not be a mediocre today. I will excel at everything I do. Nobody was born with any particular set of skills, but the desire to excel is what allows one person to develop the necessary skills for whatever they're doing, and someone else is not bothered about doing it. So you find two people doing the same thing, but one person is excelling because they have the desire, they have the drive, and they've been able to get the necessary skills and knowledge to excel in doing it.
I like when you say desire and drive and
Yes.
and all that, but I don't know if desire and drive is enough, to make you live your best life or live that excellent life. Like for example, we have many artists, but we only have one Davido. And one
Absolutely.
other artist back there in
Yeah.
Shagamu might be putting in as much effort and drive
Yeah,
as
but
well as
and then
Davido.
it also goes back to your God-given potential. I was listening to this pastor on Instagram yesterday, and he was saying, it was this series about what my mother taught me, and he said that my mother taught me that everything I need to excel and be the person that I need to be, God has put it inside of me.
Okay.
And so, if whatever anyone else is doing, I don't bother with it because what I need to succeed is inside of me. So the truth of it is that everybody has their God-given potential. So excelling and living your best life is about recognizing what it is and harnessing it to succeed. I know people that have potential, but they do nothing with it. So
Or they do not know. I think knowledge also has a part to play.
I know people that would tell me, that have said to me, I know that I have this gift, but I just could not be bothered to develop or to do
Wow.
anything with it. So there are people that have gifts, they have talents, but they don't do anything with it. There are people that will just get by on their natural talent. But I know that to excel, I always use the example of the late Kobe Bryant. People always talk about how he was such a superstar. Kobe was naturally gifted, but then he added desire and drive to it, and that was what caused him to excel. And so when we talk about life, there are people that would just get by. You would just be average. But for someone like me, I have never been interested in being average in anything I do. When I was I think I was like 7, 8, my mom said she always used to notice that I would make my bed and it was like you would think it was in a hotel. It was just something that was inside of me that always felt like, if I'm doing anything, I want to be able to do it to the best of my ability. And so it's really about wanting to maximize every gift, every potential that you have in your life.
So it's safe to say that living an excellent lifestyle, living your best life, has a lot to do with your mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
If you're not having that.
In my book, I talk about one of the requirements of living an excellent life is the mindset. You must have a mindset of excellence. You must have a mindset of excellence. I love the story of Daniel in the Bible. My first son is named Daniel because I've always been very, very conscious of excellence. And, Daniel had an attitude. He had a mindset, The Bible says he refused to defile himself with the food from the king's table. So it's all about that mindset of excellence. It's about the attitude that says that, I will do my best. I will not be substandard. One of the things I hate when people say is that it's okay, let's just manage. I'm like, what are we managing for, crying out loud? But that's the mindset of a lot of people, and that is the mediocre mindset.
So what if your best does not tally with the society's best?
And that's really subjective, and I think it's all about effort. And I teach my children this. So I always say to them that, because they're like, oh, mommy, I can't do things the way you do it. And I said, it's fine. But whether you are giving something your best effort. Everybody knows whether they are giving it their best effort, which is really that's the best you can do, to give you your best effort and do it to the very best.
Interesting.
But where desire and desire to be the best of yourself comes in is that when you recognize at times that, okay, maybe I need to acquire a little skill to be able to do things better, then you go and acquire the skill. That is where desire makes a difference. So you have your natural giftings and ability, but you recognize that if I have to be at the top of my game, I must be able to do this. Kobe Bryant would wake up every morning at 3 a.m. and shoot 300 hoops. So when he goes on the court in the evening and he drops 60 points on his opponent, he has already put in the work.
Interesting. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters, and I still have the excellent life coach with me in the studio, the BMO.
Yes, yes,
The
yes.
energy queen. And if you have certain questions, I don't know if you agree, you don't agree, you have opinions, you have questions,
Yeah.
you know, I'm asking, are you living your best life, or are you okay with just living averagely? I mean, if you're okay with living averagely, you can also call in and tell me, oh, this is why I want to, I don't want to put in too much effort, or maybe I put in too much effort and it did not serve me, so I'm just going to let life happen to me and stuff like that. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear feedback from you. So feel free to call in on 0705 993 6937 or 0705 993 7937. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters, and we're still talking about the excellent lifestyle. We're asking, are you living your best life? So I want to ask, I know, coming from your perspective, you're the excellent coach, you have a book, you have a series on
The
it.
podcast.
Why are you so, permit me to say, obsessed with when you once
I'm
average?
sure my children will want to answer that question. So, it's a combination of things. I feel like there's something that God put inside of me that will not settle for anything but the best. Because I believe, not that I believe, the Bible says God is excellent and I was created in his image and likeness. So there's no reason for me to settle for anything less than excellent. And then I also am a very competitive person. I'm a competitive person. I don't like to lose at anything. So I always have that constant drive. I remember when I was in school and I would be like third in my class, I'll get my report card and I'll start to cry, and
Why are you not number one, Abby?
really the truth of it is that it's this thing that I keep saying about desire. Like, I always ask myself, my husband asked me this question, how did you just pick up how to make a bed? I don't know, maybe I saw a bed somewhere and I was like, oh my God, I love, because even till now, my husband was like, are we not still going to sleep on this bed? Because I will be obsessed in making sure some people say it's OCD. I don't know if it's OCD, but the truth of it is that I just like to put my best foot forward in everything that I do. So that's it.
That makes a lot of sense. But I still want to ask, what is the difference between living your best life and living a perfect life? Because
there is no such thing as a perfect life.
Okay.
Let me just correct that.
Okay.
As human, God is perfect and we are moving towards perfection. And so I wouldn't even say that I'm like my coach says, I'm a recovering perfectionist. Perfectionism is actually an enemy of excellence.
Really?
Because yes, and I would when I say this, so when you are striving to be perfect, then you get into what is called procrastination. Because the moment you feel you cannot do something excellently, you don't want to do it.
Yes.
So in some ways, perfection can actually be, I actually have a podcast,
Wow.
perfection versus excellence versus perfection.
Perfection.
So you are to strive to be excellent, but not necessarily to be perfect, because perfection is an illusion.
Well, I find that very
Yeah.
hard to put, because it feels like for you to be excellent, it means you want to get everything
Yeah,
right.
but there's no such
right?
thing as perfection, though, because I was with my dad yesterday, and my dad is going to be 89 this year, and he was having a
Wow.
meeting, and he's trying to kind of supervise to make sure everything is okay. And I said to him, I said, Dad, my husband always says that I took this straight from you, because if people that are so very that are excellent or strive for perfection, they are very detail oriented. But I have found that no matter how detail oriented you are, there are some little things that you miss here and there, and so that's not perfection. So, but this is the thing, though. I always say that when you shoot for perfection as a person, as an individual, you might not hit perfection, but you hit excellence. Because excellence is what you get on the road to perfection.
And later you say that perfection and excellence are not the same thing.
No, yeah, I just
and
said
you know
that
that they
excellence is what you achieve on the road to perfection. That's actually a quote from my book. So you are striving for perfection, and that striving for
Okay, you are
perfection
not perfect.
causes
Okay,
yes,
that's
you are
beautiful.
striving for perfection, and it's your strive for perfection that makes you an excellent person.
So it's okay to strive for perfection.
Absolutely, and and that's why I said it's a constant race, because what I was doing yesterday that was excellent is mediocrity today. So, and that's why I gave that example about the phone. So it's the life of excellence is continually evolving. You are continually evolving as you strive to excel in what you're doing.
That is absolutely beautiful and deep. I think I totally
Deep
understand
waters.
that.
We're on deep waters, so we gotta go deep.
Back, ladies and gentlemen, this is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters, and indeed, we're talking about the excellent lifestyle. We're asking, are you living your best life, or are you someone that just say, I don't want to live my best life. I just want to live my average JJ life. JJ life. If you have that thought, maybe we can convince you to actually live your best life before the end of the show. Like I said, if you have thoughts and questions and opinions, please do also calling on 0705 993 6937 or 0705 993 7937. I still have with me the excellent life coach in the building, Bolanle Mattel Oko in the house, helping us dive deeper on the topic of the day. I saw calls during the break. Please, if you want calling, please do also call back. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your feedback on the topic of the day, the excellent lifestyle. Are you living your best life? So how do we know? What are the signs that we're actually living or not living an excellent life or our best life?
You have a deep sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. I always say that when I push myself to really, almost like I'm pushing myself past my boundaries, there's a deep sense of satisfaction. So I give you an example. So I have a podcast. I have a podcast.
Okay, before you drop down on your example, I don't want to miss this call.
Okay.
It might just be a question from your fans.
Okay.
Hello? Hello? All right, I just assume that's from network. Please do well to call back and ensure that you turn off your radio and ensure that your network is going fine so that we can actually hear you. The number to call is 0705 993 6937 or 0705 993 7937. Hello? Hello? All right, I can see the calls coming in. I'm just going to assume that this is network. If I take one more call and I cannot hear anything, then I probably have to go on a break to fix it. So you were saying, what are the signs that?
So you on number one, there's an awareness. Mm-hmm. There's an awareness that I have a purpose. Mm-hmm. There's an awareness that I have something inside of me that the world needs. And when you begin to accomplish those things, you will know, you would have a deep sense of satisfaction. So I have a podcast mm-hmm. Manager, production assistant, and she called me, this was like 10 days ago, and she was like, I need a podcast from you, and I know you have a podcast inside of you. And I was like, okay. I just celebrated my 30th wedding anniversary. I'll do a podcast on excelling in marriage. Mm. And I did it. And honestly, I did that podcast in less than a day. But it just gave me so much joy and fulfillment that I was able to do it. But guess what? I may not have done it, but I had it in me to do it. So it's really about pushing yourself and knowing that I did it. Mm. Notwithstanding the challenges and obstacles that were in the way,
and that's why
I was able to push myself to do it.
Yes.
But a lot of people get discouraged when they have obstacles and challenges, and they say, you know what, I'm just not going to do it. And that's where you settle and you become a mediocre. Wow. So excellence is about rising above the challenges, rising above the obstacles, and say, you know what, I'm going to do it.
Interesting. Well, you know what amazes me? Because sometimes when you have an idea and
Mm-hmm.
there are things you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then you say you don't do it or you procrastinate, and then boom, you just see somebody else has done it. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I don't know if it has ever happened to you. Somebody else has done it. And, okay, it can't happen to the excellent life coach, right?
If it happens to me, I will make sure I do it better. That would be my comeback. I'll be like, okay, for the very fact that I didn't do it before, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it bigger and better. That would be my response.
Interesting.
Yes,
that makes sense too. So for me, it's been, I'm going to do this, and then you don't do it, and boom, you just see somebody else has done it, and they're thinking, oh my God, maybe I should the energy just drops. They're like, since you didn't do it, you know, and now you're feeling bad, and maybe
this is the mindset I was talking about before. Because the mindset of excellence is, okay, you know what? I didn't do it. Somebody else do it. You know what? I'll just do it better. So that's where the mindset makes the difference.
That makes it.
So that's why you have to condition your mind living an excellent life, living your best life is about conditioning your mind and having, I have so many episodes that, I've done that really talk to this. So another one is vision and imagination. So living your best life, when I was going to start my podcast, I did what is called a podcast name poll. So I had 3 titles and I was asking people, what do you want me to call my podcast? And living your best life was number 1.
Wow.
But I honestly didn't really want to do that because if you look at living your best life, especially if you go on Instagram, you see a lot of hashtags,
Yes,
living your best
true.
life. It really didn't depict where I wanted to go with the podcast. And so I then eventually decided to call it the Excellent Life Podcast. And it is vision and imagination plays a big part of living an excellent life or living your best life, because it's about having a vision of where do I want to be and being driven by your passion and desire to get there.
Interesting. Passion and desire it is. This is Deep Waters with Deborah Waters. I missed your calls again, and it's because I took the calls and for some reason I couldn't hear you. So hopefully when you call back again, I would hear you this time. The numbers to call is 0705-993-6937. The Excellent Life Coach is here, and I'm sure she can't wait to hear your questions and thoughts. I'm sure.
Or maybe they are digesting everything
maybe
we are saying.
Yes, or maybe you're hitting the nail on the head. Either ways, if you have opinions and even feedback, I would love to hear from you.
Yes.
How easy or hard is it to live or to lead an excellent life? Because I know you are just excellenting a way.
There's a saying that practice makes perfect. And that is one of my mantras that, I might be doing something initially and it might be difficult. Because there are things that I've tried to do in my life that are genuinely difficult. But I have come to realize that when you do not give up, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So it's really about practice. Practice makes perfect, We're on this journey of perfection, like I said, and the more you do something. I remember when I first became an executive coach, I used to have a little bit of difficulty in my sessions, just trying to be able to engage people and get the kind of energy I want. But with time, the more I did it, I remember there was a time after I got my executive coach certification and someone had asked me to come and take a session. I was petrified, honestly. But it's so interesting. I did an executive women's seminar on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that.
And my friend said to me that you have become a guru at this thing. And it is what I was alluding to, that practice makes perfect.
Yes.
The more you do something, the more you excel at it.
So it's all about starting.
It's about starting. It's about being tenacious and just keeping at it. Because the other thing that stops a lot of people from excellence or living their best life is when we don't get the results that we want.
True.
But one of the mindset of an excellent person is that they are not result driven. They are purpose driven people.
Wow.
And so I understand that I may not get the results I want at any particular point in time. But because I have a vision, I have a purpose in what I am doing, I am not discouraged.
Interesting.
I just keep at it.
Wow, this is absolutely beautiful to hear. Let's take a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for calling back.
Yes.
Yes, good to have you on the show.
Please, I want to ask your guest or something like that. You make mention that just existing for life. I mean,
Yes, she was responding to what you said earlier.
And what I want to ask her is that people that go for many studies, go for many training, see yes, they are not still making it at the edges of their excellence or something like that. Is it that they are not striving because they have been using that one? Is it that they are not putting their effort? Is it not they are lazy? Yes, or something like that.
Interesting. All right. Thank you very much for that. I think she kind of answered, but I'll have you answer that again.
Okay, so I say this all the time. Preparation meets opportunity. So the fact that you are doing something and you don't get the result, don't stop doing it. Because one day, all that preparation, there will be the opportunity. But if you are not prepared, you will lose out on the opportunity. So it's about being ready and keeping at it. There's so many stories that we've heard recently of someone that was, probably not doing anything, and then they got that big breakthrough. So as long as you have the mindset of tenacity to keep at it, you will get a breakthrough at some point
It's
in
just
time.
a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. You know, it's just a matter of time.
It is.
You know,
It definitely
yeah.
is. Let's take another caller. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good to have you on the show. Thanks for calling.
David, good evening.
Good evening, Afam.
I've been trying to call you before the network.
Yeah, I know.
Shouting, hello.
It's good to have you on the show. Thankfully, you actually connected before the end of the show.
Yes, that is.
Okay, talk to me.
Please, what are we talking about? Because I just came in.
You just.
We're talking about living your very best life. Are you living your very best life?
No, I went out, so I just walked this. So I just.
So answer the question: are you living your best life?
Are you
Afam?
living your best life, Afang?
Am I living my best life?
Yes.
Is that the question?
Yes, that's the question.
Whether if I am living my best life
Yes. If you look at your life right now, is this the best that you can be?
in this Nigeria now? Are you guys kidding me?
Oh wow.
Okay. Go on.
Country is now you're asking somebody whether he or she is living his best life. Come on now. If you look for another topic now that we need to talk about.
Afam, so what?
Best life this kind of what kind of best life are you going to live? And let's tell ourselves the truth. Is it the phone we are buying 1,000 naira? Or is it the garden we are buying almost 3,500? Or what kind of best life are we living? No, when we are talking about something like this, we should bring it both politically, spiritually, physically, and even that is otherwise we should turn it around, not by self personally.
But this is actually a spiritual perspective.
Afam, can I say something, Afam? Living your best life is about like we've been talking. Maybe you need to go and listen to the conversation. We've been saying living your best life is doing the very best with what you have at any point in time. You know, I remember during COVID, I saw this video that was passing around, and there was this lady that she was living with, I think it was 3 or 4 children in a room. I've never seen somebody so happy in my life.
Wow.
She had a little potted plant, and she was saying to someone, went to interview, and she was like, oh, do you want to see my garden? All she had was a little potted plant. In this one room she lived with her children, they had like a curtain, and then the other side of it was just a bowl. That's where they took their
She was
bath.
happy.
And she was happy. And she said, and because for me, the other thing about life is having a sense of contentment, but not settling. So things are difficult, and I will never undermine what people are going through. People are genuinely having a hard time, but there's also a sense of gratitude that we must have, which is part of living your best. Being grateful for where you are, because the truth of it is that as difficult as things might be for you, there will be somebody out there that has it worse than you do. So one of the mindsets that I have that drive me to excellence, that I'm grateful for everything I have, and that's why I want to maximize everything I have on a daily basis.
I understand where you're coming from now, because the question in the first place, you know,
So you got the question.
if I may change the question should be, you should be appreciated of where you are or what you have.
Absolutely.
Not
Absolutely.
living your best life, because when you say living your best life, it is not going to be in this kind of situation we are in this country. But when you say you should be appreciated of what you have, that one, at least we should be grateful to God.
Absolutely.
For giving us life.
And you're very right, Afang. And because I'm also a pastor.
Living a best life, my sister, I want to be honestly with you.
Yeah.
Living a best life is not in this kind of economic we are in Nigeria. No.
There are people living their best life even in this economy, Afang, because living your best life is not just about material things. It's about having godliness and contentment. So there are people living their very best life even in this country.
And at least we can breathe, and we can at least the oxygen that we breathe freely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That he gave to us, and we can't get it with money. We can't buy it with money. You know, that thing alone is the most highest gift. It's most highest. It's priceless. You get me?
So Afam, are you appreciative of the moments? Are you appreciative of your current? Are you grateful for the current moment in your life?
I thank God for this moment. I thank God for life.
Okay.
Because when there is life,
there is hope. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Afam. Thanks for calling.
When you say living the best life, my sister, please, they're gonna change the topic.
No problem. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh wow.
So being that he hasn't joined before and then he just heard living your best life, I can imagine. Let's say you're just coming from one traffic, you went to go and fight for a fuel. You now came back. Someone now asked you, "Are you living your best life?" The first question is, "Are you okay?" Like, why are you asking me such a question? It's not a question to ask me in this economy. So I understand from where.
I do. But like I said, you know, this video so blessed me during COVID, because this woman, someone else would look at her and would say that she was not living a good life, but this woman felt like she was living her best life, and she was full of gratitude. Because living your best life is also being full of gratitude for where you are in your journey of your life. Beautiful. And having the faith and confidence that things can only get better.
Interesting. And that's a wrap on the show, literally. I was going to ask her, what are the habits some daily habits that we can, get on to help us live our best life? But you already mentioned one, gratitude.
Gratitude, your mindset is very important. Keeping at it. I talked about practice makes perfect.
Yes.
If there's something you want to excel at, just keep doing it, learn new skills. I say that I'm a lifelong learner, and self-development is an absolute must. People always say, "Oh, I don't want to do things because it's expensive," and I say it's an investment. Realize that to be an excellent person, you have to invest in yourself. Investing in yourself means that you will go out of your way to spend time and money to acquire the necessary skills that will take you from where you are to where you want to be a person of excellence. And
then you need to shut out the outside,
Yes.
Sometimes those
things,
they are so loud in your ear.
Yes.
I say,
is loud. When people tell me I cannot do something, that is so much fuel for me to say, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Thank you so much, Bola.
Thank you. And I just want to give a shout out to my community. I've seen them online engaging.
I can see them.
Thank you, Bosse. Thank you, Taye. Thank you, Uche. Thank you, Koyi. Yes. These are all members of my community, Women's Lifestyle Hub. And, I love you, ladies. Thank you
for engaging.
For tuning in. Oh, they didn't
call in. Tuned in, but they didn't come.
Yes, they were probably just enjoying themselves.
Yes, and commenting. Thank you so much. How can people who have listened to you on radio and TV, connect with you?
Okay, so if you want to connect with me, you can follow me on Instagram at Bola Mateloko, on LinkedIn at Bola Mateloko, my YouTube channel, Keeping It Real with BB, and then also everywhere Bola Mateloko, and my website bolamateloko.com. So if you go online Bola Mateloko, you will find me.
Interesting. I want to say thank you for the book.
Oh yes.
Series. I want to say thank you. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to strive toward excellence.
Yes, and you can catch my podcast. The Excellent Life podcast is on Apple Podcast, and it will really help you to live your very best life and excel in all that you do. Yes.
And a big shout out to Afam, the best life liver.
I just saw one of my friends just joined. Tiola, hi! Shout out to all my ladies.
To go now to all my listeners, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being part of the show. Afam, thanks for calling. Olawale, thanks for being a part of the show. I'll be live again on Wednesday at 5 to 6 p.m. for another amazing show for you. So please do also follow at Deepwaters _podcast on Instagram and Facebook to be a part of the Deepwaters community and to connect with us. I've been your host, Deborah Waters, and this has been the Excellent Life Coach. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.